Hello everyone and welcome to Metro TV. Today we have the Omaha Symphony. Ernest Richardson is with us to talk about Choral Collaborative. We have the Children's Hospital and Medical Center talking about their upcoming gala, and also Jesu Housing and everything they do in the community to help those needing housing. So stay tuned, we'll be right back. And welcome back. I'm here with Ernest Richardson from the Omaha Symphony, the principal pops conductor. Ernest, thank you for joining me.
It's great to be here.
We're going to talk a little about the Choral Collaborative, but I just wanted to get a little background on you, just
Sure.
a little history on how long you've been at the Symphony, where you came from, and what's been going on.
Well, I've been here 25 years,
Okay.
which is quite remarkable.
That is.
Yes, I came here from the Phoenix Symphony.
Okay.
And prior to that, I was at school. I was a graduate school at University of Michigan and undergrad at Indiana University.
Okay. And tell me just a little bit about, why, not necessarily the Omaha Symphony, but, what you're doing there, your passion about everything that goes on with your job, your career.
Sure. Well, I've grown to absolutely adore this community, and I came to the community with a love for the sound of a symphony orchestra and a fascination for how a professional resident orchestra can change a community.
Right.
And so we put those together in these past years with Omaha Symphony. And Choral Collaborative is really a natural outgrowth of connecting the sound of an orchestra to its community.
Yeah, and I would say the Omaha Symphony, just being here and doing what I've been doing for close to 28 years and kind of watching this organization grow and outreach in the community to do all the different kind of things they do with education, with kids, and really providing just a nice variety of performances for everybody, kind of taste for everybody. But let's go back, talk about Choral Collaborative. What do you have coming up?
Well, it's a very exciting concert. The Choral Collaborative program this year is Mendelssohn's Elijah, which is the story of the prophet Elijah.
Right.
And it has all the things that you want, gods competing against each other, possibilities of murder, intrigue. It's really very exciting music. It's with 500 high school voices.
That's amazing.
It's an amazing sound. It's a program that really has taken us about 20 to 25 years to develop because it was an audacious idea, the notion that we could combine high school singers with a professional orchestra singing the great repertoire, the great choral repertoire. It requires tremendous dedication by teachers. It's a monstrous project for our staff to handle. It's unbelievable amount of work to make it actually happen. So for that to happen and turn into this brilliant sound has been a remarkable journey for us.
So is this, because, I love interviewing people like you because I'm actually learning in the learning process as I'm interviewing you. Have you done this before? Has the Choral Collaborative, it's something you've done in past years?
Yes, the Choral Collaborative began.
Give me a little history again.
Yes, it began probably in my first 2 or 3 years here with the symphony. It comes back to what I was talking about, connecting the sound of the orchestra to the community.
Right.
So the one thing that we know the community values is its children. Yeah. And there's a tremendous choral tradition, choral singing tradition in the schools in this community. So I met with one of the leaders, whose name was Don Reimer. He was at Bellevue West at the time. And I said, what would happen if we combined high school singers with a professional orchestra? So we just started experimenting. And the first few performances were at his school. And then we started getting more and more schools together, and the program kept growing and growing. Then it moved to the concert hall because that's the only place it would fit.
Right.
And then it became something that was such a success artistically and from what the mission of the orchestra is that we put it as a special on our series. So it's one of 3 or 4 specials that we do every year. And
tell me about the schools involved. Is it the overall line schools? Is it the Omaha Public? Is it?
We have schools from OPS.
Okay.
We have schools from Blair and Fremont.
Okay.
So really, it requires a director who wants to take on a tremendous amount of extra work.
Sure.
So you don't have to teach major choral works to your students in high school. You don't have to do that.
Sure.
And you can give them a great education. But these wonderful men and women take this job on and do this amazing work for us.
And I think you might have mentioned, or these students really have to sing at a very professional choir level.
Yes.
So you're like bringing in the best of the best of these young adults around the community to do this.
Yes.
You start working on a piece in August, and then and then you rehearse with the orchestra 3 times and perform in November.
Right.
So when in November?
Well, that's a very good question, which I couldn't answer for you specifically because I don't know the date. But soon.
Okay, that sometime in November you're going to
Yes.
perform. And ask me, you know, the rehearsal process. Let's talk a little bit about the rehearsal process
Sure.
and how you approach that.
Sure, I believe our concert's the 11th of
Okay.
November, yes.
Okay.
So the rehearsal process starts in August, where the students and the teachers are given choral parts that have been prepared. So
Yes.
the choral director and I decide how we want to present this.
Okay.
And then he will go ahead and edit the choral scores. So the teachers get that to start off with. And then Dr. Breland from Creighton is
Right.
our choir master. He goes around to each of the schools and begins working with them. He comes up with a detailed process of how to rehearse the music, how to prepare it, get them ready for our first mass rehearsal, which is about in the middle of the process,
Okay.
which we just had.
Okay.
And then we start going and having visits with me and a wonderful pianist that works with us with each of the schools.
Okay.
And then we go back to each of the schools and bring the soloists that we have for each production. So we've been talking about how great singing sounds, but neither of us can actually do it.
Right.
So when you have these amazing professional singers coming in who can then take the metaphor and the kids can actually hear what they're trying to sound like, it's a really remarkable
Yeah.
experience. And so that is the next phase of it. And then you mentioned the 3 rehearsals we have with the orchestra as well.
Yeah. So is there anything else like this in the United States?
We're not aware that this is happening anywhere at all.
Oh my goodness.
We think it's absolutely unique to Omaha. We're not even sure it's happening anywhere else in the world, to tell you the truth. At this level,
Right.
high school kids occasionally will sing with a professional orchestra, but to have 500 present a major choral work in the symphony hall as a special to the entire community, we're pretty sure we're the only ones that are doing that.
All right. Well, first of all, I can only imagine just as when I was in high school, which was a ways, you know, a few decades ago, and in the singing process, you know, I love to sing. I was in the choir. I did drama and played the violin.
We were almost doing exactly the same thing.
But what an opportunity to be able to do this, because that wasn't available back when I was in high school. So.
Sure, it's incredible. And I have kids who will be working with me in the community in one way or the other, either it's a coffee bar or someplace, and they're 25 or older, and they'll say, you know, hey, maestro, and they'll get this big smile on their face, and I'll say, well, hey, how are you doing? And they say, I was in such and such high school, and we performed whatever piece. So
Yeah.
it makes a profound impact on them when they have this opportunity.
Yeah. Well, I mean, thank you so much. I mean, again, that is a phenomenal opportunity. So before I let you go, I just want to talk, what are you most excited about in the upcoming year with the symphony?
Well, this is one of my most exciting projects. I
Right.
look forward to this every year. And then the second most exciting thing, which is really all the equally exciting, is our Christmas show,
Right.
which is coming up in December.
Right.
And then there's these movie concerts we do. That's exciting. It's just a really exciting year for
Yeah,
us.
I mean, I was looking over everything that's happening. And again, the performances, they range in such a variety of really appealing to so many types of people in the community. Because a lot of times you think of the symphony and it's classical music, and which I personally love, but you have a rock series that's either coming up or it might have just passed. You've got the Christmas show. You've got all these different things that really appeal to such a wide variety, and people can buy the season or they can buy individual tickets. So it's
Well, it
just,
speaks to the virtuosity of American orchestras in which
Yeah.
we can play every style.
Right.
And we can play every style from show to show, from weekend to weekend. And that's one of the great things is that, you know, Count Basie said there's only good music and bad music. That's it. And I really believe that style is not the issue.
Right.
Is the music compelling?
Absolutely.
And we have a compelling, amazing season.
absolutely. Well, people can go to the website
OmahaSymphony.org.
to find out all kinds of information and to buy tickets and all that good stuff. So
That's correct.
Thank you so much for coming on the show and talking about the Choral Collaborative. That's just an awesome thing. So
Thank you. We're very proud
yeah,
of it. Thank you for having me.
You're welcome, and we will be right back. Perfect. Well, welcome back. I'm here with Beth Greiner from the Children's Hospital and Medical Center, Executive Director. Beth, thank you for joining me today.
It's an honor to be here.
Lots of exciting things going on in your world. First of all, just for people who aren't familiar with Children's Hospital Medical Centers, sorry, I don't know why I'm tongue-tied on that one today. Tell us a little bit about what is it? You're with the foundation and just all the good stuff.
Well, Children's Hospital Medical Center is a nonprofit organization that's been around Omaha since 1948.
Oh my gosh.
We are the only pediatric-specific healthcare center here, home to our 145-bed hospital and about 50 specialty clinics. So last year we saw patients from every state in the United States and several countries.
Really? Mm-hmm. Oh my goodness.
Yes.
And tell me a little bit about that. I mean, what brings them to Omaha?
Sure. Well, we are blessed to have more than 250 specialty doctors, and some of them are known worldwide for their specialty care that they do, the surgical services that we have, and that's why they travel to come here.
Yeah. So you've got an exciting construction project going on. I drive by it several times a week.
Sure.
So what's going on?
Yes. Well, 84th and Dodge is our home campus, and we've been stretching at the seams here at Children's, sometimes having to send patients away because we've been so full. So we've decided to build a new 9-floor hospital tower with more than 100 intensive care beds, and it'll be the new Hubbard Center for Children, home to a new cancer floor, a new cardiac care floor, an expanded NICU. Just will provide us great growing space for the future.
That's amazing, because just remind me, I'm going to backtrack. You guys were in the Methodist building, right? You like had half the one tower and they had the other tower or something like that.
So we used to be down at the university campus.
Okay.
Moved out west to our current location, yes, and we shared a few floors in the Methodist Tower.
Okay.
And then moved to our current
and then
site,
that
yes, in
big
2000.
beautiful building. I remember that.
Yes.
The grand opening, and I toured through all the different rooms.
Yes.
So, you know, how exciting. What is the projected date for that to be up and?
So the building will be open in 2021.
Okay.
We're hoping by May. We also are adding a parking garage, which our staff's very excited about, and that'll open sooner in 2019.
Yeah. So you have a gala coming up.
We do.
On November 3rd. I love this gala. It's so much fun. It brings just the community together to support and celebrate the Children's Hospital Medical Center. Tell us a little bit about that. You've got a special guest coming as well.
We do, yes. So Gala is our signature event, and we expect to have a full house of 1,500 attending. We do have entertainment by Matt Carney, who not only is wildly talented, but not too bad to look at either. So we've had a lot of people coming from far and wide to enjoy that. And all of the proceeds raised will benefit the Hubbard Center for Children.
Okay. How can people buy tickets to that event?
We invite them to go online at childrensomaha.org, and they can sign up there.
So I want to talk a little bit about Wine, Women, and Shoes.
Yes.
Every year, Metro Magazine, we hold a big event called The Big Event, and we have the community vote for their favorite charity event. And last year, or I guess in 2018, Wine, Women, and Shoes won. Which I was thrilled about. It's such a great event. It's so much fun. But that raises money for
Carolyn Scott Rainbow House.
Yeah, so let's talk about that.
Sure. So our Rainbow House is our version of a Ronald McDonald House. So we have patients, as I said, that come from throughout the state and the United States and other countries. So when they come here, they need a place to stay. And oftentimes, they don't have the money to stay at a hotel. So they're able to stay there for free. And that is a heart share that we have at the foundation, where we raise money throughout the year for it.
Right. Was that home renovated, or was it?
The original home that Carolyn Scott purchased was an old building, apartment house that was renovated. This is a brand new facility that kind of doubled the number of rooms. So we have more than 56 rooms for patients to stay in. And right now we're usually about 85% capacity. So it's definitely getting its use.
And where is that located at?
It's just about 5 minutes away from the hospital, just one street over. And it's one of those things with Wine, Women, and Shoes that you've got 600 women that come together for 2 hours to enjoy a little shopping and the story of Rainbow House, and it's just a wonderful event.
Do you have a date set? in 2019?
April 5th, Omaha
Okay.
Design Center.
Okay. Yes, encourage people to go to that. It's just,
Absolutely.
it's so much fun. It's such a great night. What other ways can people get involved with your organization? I know just from me being a 5K'er, you've got a couple 5Ks that people can sign up and walk,
Yes,
run for.
yes. So we have a Halloween run that we are lucky to be partnering
Like on
with Nebraska
on
Furniture
Saturday?
Mart. Yes,
I'll be
coming
there.
up. Yes,
I'll be there.
wonderful.
Yeah.
And then we also have 2 golf events that happen in May. And the big one really for women is Wine, Women, and Shoes, and then our gala. And other than that, we'd love to have people come volunteer, or if you have a special project that you want to do for our patients, you can contact the foundation about that as well.
Yeah. Well, Beth, thank you so much for being on the show. I know you guys are in the Giving Guide, so we've got a great page that kind of showcases also who you are, what you do, how you can get involved, giving wise and whatnot. Any last words or anything else you want to add to?
Just that, Children's is really a nonprofit for the community, and so it's such a great asset, and we welcome everybody to be part of it.
Yeah, for sure. So, again, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
And we will be right back. Welcome back. I'm here with Dale Barr. He is with the Zoo Housing Inc., Executive Director, COO. Dale, thank you for joining me.
It's a pleasure, thanks.
Well, let's talk about what Zoo Housing is,
Okay.
for those who don't know about it.
Yeah, we're kind of like, remember the old ad with Avis being trying harder because we're second?
Right.
Well, it's kind of what we are to Habitat and Holy Name Housing, but we've been at this about 16 years. We are in North Omaha, between 45th and Maple, and
Kind of the area that you
Burdette.
serve.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
These are all, we build new homes on vacant lots, so it's all infill. And Brother Mike Wilmot started the nonprofit, and he's pretty well known around town. He was a coach at prep and
Okay,
involved with the Jesuit middle school, and built one of their schools down there for him. So that's how he got started. And we've kind of expanded now in terms of numbers of homes per year and stuff, but that's what we do. We build homes for people who are at 80% of median income. They have to qualify for a $68,000 mortgage, just like you or I would.
Sure.
So they have to have good credit, got to have a job. They work through another nonprofit, wonderful people. It's at Omaha 100.
Okay.
And they get qualified through them, and then they get them to a bank. If they can come up with that $68,000 mortgage, the city has HUD money and of $60,000 is 0% interest. And they buy our homes for $128,000. That's what they're appraised at.
Okay.
So my job is.
Yes, what's your job?
It costs us anywhere from $180 to $200 to build them.
Okay.
So that's where I go out and try to get the private donations and get some grants and such. And there have been some wonderful people, obviously we've been at it 16 years, that have been helping us through the years here in town. The Kiewits and the Sherwoods and the Hawks and a lot of private people who, the $5 and $10 stuff adds up as well.
Absolutely.
So that's how we fund the house. It's kind of a third if you look at it from
Sure.
a 60,000 foot level. But if we've got the lots, the city sells us these lots for $1 a pop, and then we have to get them cleaned up. There's the trees, and sometimes we run into another house that was just buried. We'll have to dig out the old house to put in a new one. So the costs kind of rise when you start thinking of some of those other things. But
Sure,
that's,
for the renovation piece
yeah.
of it and to,
So these homes are 3 bedrooms, 1,350 square feet. We've got probably 52 of them done right now in that same area, so between
Right.
45th and 40th and Maple and Burdette. So it's gone very well.
yeah. And so I'm going to jump in here too, because what we were just talking about, what the big thing is the Energy Star certified homes. I mean,
Correct.
that's huge. So talk about that a
That's
little
a
bit.
federal program.
Right.
Where you have someone come in and inspect the home, and they measure the air going in and out of the house.
Okay.
And so there are efficient ways to keep the heating and cooling within the house, so you're not letting it leak out. So it's a cost to us probably around $2,500 to $3,000 a house. But we get them certified, and the bottom line is that the homeowner probably gets around a 40% deduction in their utilities.
Okay, which is big.
It's huge. So
for these folks that, I mean, it's big for anybody.
Sure,
but for these
but
folks.
it's worth the money, because their house payment is based on their $68,000 mortgage.
Right.
So now they got a house payment, let's say in the $650 range, and you cut the utilities in half. Now you've got people who can maintain the house and be there.
Right.
So in 16 years, we've never had anybody move out. We've never had anybody foreclosed on, because it's
That's
their
an amazing
home.
record, by the way. Congratulations.
Yeah, it's something to talk about. Yeah, it's kind of cool. We'll have 67 done by the end of our next construction cycle, all in that area.
Right.
And so partnering with the city and Omaha 100 has been pretty good.
Yeah. So I want to talk about two things before we wrap up. Is how can people help? I mean, how can people? Do you take donations? How can the community get involved with what you do?
Well, donations is the big part.
Okay.
I have a general contractor that builds homes. So that's people want to volunteer and such, and to do 10 houses at a time, I can't wait for volunteers. So I've got to,
sure. Makes
so
sense.
Anyway, the donations, the Donate Now button on the website.
Okay. Which is what? Your website is?
www.jsofhousing.com.
Which is GESU.
Correct.
Housing. Okay.
Right. Brother Wilmot, who started this, that was the school he went to in Milwaukee.
Okay,
So
I
he
was wondering, I mean, yeah, where'd that name come from?
He named it after the school he went to. So
Okay.
I didn't know where it came from either, but that's
Yeah.
where it came from. So
And then also you have, the golf tournament was in July, but that's kind of your big fundraising event
right.
that you have
So
every July.
we've got it planned for July 29th in 19
Yeah.
at Champions Run.
Okay.
And what we try to do is build a house. So we golf and do all the things you would normally do at an outing, but afterwards we it's not an auction actually, it's people can buy a toilet or buy cupboards or
Okay.
buy a,
Oh, I love
buy
that.
a window.
Yeah.
And we've got the prices for all of them, and
Okay.
what we try to do is build a house.
Right.
And so this last year we actually made our goal. We tried for $60,000 as that third, if you will.
Sure.
And we did it this last July,
Right.
so it was
Yeah.
a big success, yeah.
Well, again, thank you so much, Dale, for coming on the
Yeah.
show.
It's been a pleasure.
Yeah, and you're in our annual giving guide, so you can go there and read more about
Yeah.
the organization. And again, go to your website.
They can
Is
call me up, www.jsofhousing.com, or they can call me at 614-4776. I'd be
Okay.
happy to talk to them.
all right, Dale. Thank you again
bet.
for being on the show.
Yeah.
And thank you. We will be right back. Well, thank you for joining us today. I want to remind you and invite you all to go to spiritofomaha.com and vote for your favorite charity event. We have 6 categories, 5 nonprofits in each category. So go and vote for your favorite nonprofit, favorite charity event. We will have a big gala on the 17th of January called The Big Event at the Omaha Design Center. So like us on Facebook at Metro Magazine, all one word, to kind of keep up to date of what we're doing, not just with that event, but also just in the nonprofit world and all the great upcoming events. And also inviting you, the October-November issue is out and available at the Bookworm, also at our other advertisers. So check it out. Also read it online at spiritofomaha.com. So again, thank you so much for joining us, and we will see you next week.